On the East Coast this morning, the drone sightings that had parts of New York and New Jersey looking up to the skies in recent weeks for more than a month, they've stopped since the FAA implemented its temporary ban. The Pentagon says, simply put, the drones do not pose a threat. A former astronaut who spent 15 years with NASA says he came into contact not with a drone, but another unidentified object last summer. Joining me now is that former astronaut, Leroy Chiao. Leroy, thank you for your time this morning. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but you were piloting your plane from Colorado back home to Texas when this happened to you. Has this kept you up at night, like not knowing what you saw or what that was?
Well, it is pretty strange. It hasn't kept me up per se, but I did come into contact with, or almost came into contact with these two spherical metallic, basically chrome orbs about 3 feet in diameter, one on top of the other. And they passed within 20 feet of my airplane on the left side, going the opposite direction just below. And I got a good look at them. And I didn't know what they were at the time, and I kind of continued to believe they were probably part of some kind of a secret program, a government program for advanced drones, but I have no way of knowing. My biggest concern, and I didn't even have time to get scared because they just whizzed by me so quickly. There wasn't even time for that. So it remains a mystery. I don't know. I have no way of knowing what happened.
Yeah. So you say 20 feet away. That was real close to not being good for you and your airplane.
Right, absolutely, yeah. I mean, I was on an instrument flight plan, which means I was under positive control by air traffic control, and they will alert you if there's other air traffic near you. I had, my airplane is equipped, as all airplanes are required to be equipped, with the FAA-approved devices that allow you to basically see all the traffic in your area on a display like an iPad, and nothing showed up there, and so it was a big mystery.
Yeah, I have my private pilot's license. I'm just VFR. I don't have IFR yet, but I was thinking to myself when I was reading your story, did Tower not tell you, that this was coming? Nothing showed up on your instruments? I mean, that's wild. Right. Have you ever seen anything like this before?
No, never. This is the first and only time I've ever seen it. It was a little bit earlier this year in August, so nothing before or since.
And your resume, I mean, you have such a lengthy and impressive resume. 3 space shuttle flights. You were the commander on the Expedition 10. You have no reason to make this up. Have you gotten any pushback, after coming public with your story?
No, actually, I kind of kept it to myself. I told a few people about it at the time, but really hadn't talked about it till I was asked on an interview on, if I had seen anything strange before. And I just, like I said, at the time, I assumed it was a secret government program. And so, I hadn't talked about it till being asked. But no, I haven't really gotten any pushback.
Yeah, good. So what's your take on what we've seen the past, month and change over the Northeast and these drones over Jersey? You think the government knows more than they're telling us?
Well, it's mysterious. I would hope that our government would be able to track and detect things like this, because obviously an enemy could use this kind of thing if we couldn't, to cause some kind of issues for us. So I guess I have a hard time believing the government is telling us everything they know about what these things are. Interesting, as you reported, that since the FAA temporary flight restrictions went up, that the activity has dropped off dramatically. That's interesting. That suggests it is, civilian operators of commercial drones. But some of these things, I guess, are pretty huge. So it's hard to believe somebody has the resources to, buy a fleet of these things and operate them the way that has been reported.
Yeah, and locals and, Americans just want answers, more transparency here. Leroy Chiao, thank you for sharing your story. I'm glad you lived to tell the tale of those silver orbs in the sky this summer. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.